Welcome back to my channel for a full hour-long backbending class. Helpful but not required today are a yoga strap and 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have a strap, you can substitute a towel instead. And I've also seen people use 2 hardcover books instead of yoga blocks. I also like to have a bottle of water nearby. Hydration is so helpful for flexibility. So when I teach class, I like to build up all my exercises for one final pose. Today's pose is going to be a bow pose with the overhand grip. If that seems like something impossible for your body, don't worry about it. I give lots of options along the way, and it's nice just to stay till the end so you can see what you are working towards. So before I teach my students, I always say there are 2 types of pain you may feel during class. One is ow, this is so hard, my body is being so stretched out pain. And the other is, ow, I feel like my muscle is going to rip off of me pain. If you ever feel the latter, stop what you're doing immediately and take a break. So without further ado, let's get started. Come into a nice, comfortable seated position. Cross your legs one in front of the other. Clasp your hands together and start rocking them back and forth. I like to sway side to side to help warm up my body even further. Good, everyone. When you're ready, shoot those arms out in front of you and start circling those arms in, down, and around. Really get into the wrists. As you can see, I'm now rocking forward and back, starting to get my spine in on the action as well. And we'll start to reverse, going the opposite way. Bring those hands back down in front of you. Clasp your thumbs together. Reach your arms up nice and straight. Here's my demo of not straight arms. Look, that was a sad face. No, reach them up nice and straight and start pulsing them back. Next time your hands are in the backwards position, release the thumbs and start bringing your shoulders together behind you, bending your elbows. It's almost as if you had a lat machine. Here's a good side view for you. Every time those elbows bend behind you, push the chest out. Last one. Take your hands, place them facing backwards behind you, and start arching and curling your spine from there. It's okay if your hands or fingertips lift off the ground. This is more just to start getting some movement into your spinal cord. Get ready to reposition those hands. Face your fingers forward, plant your feet on the ground, and rock your knees side to side. When I teach my in-person classes at the studio, I often refer to myself as the breathing police. I remind everyone to keep inhaling and exhaling about 5,000 times during class. So this is your reminder, keep breathing. Scoot your butt slightly forward. Feel a nice deep stretch go down those shoulders. If this is enough for you, just hang out here. If you want to feel more feelings, rock your body side to side. Scoot your butt back. Make sure you have room around you. You're not going to knock into anything. Place your fingertips facing backwards again, and from here, re-scoot your butt forward. If you don't have a lot of mobility in your shoulders, this might be an extremely intense stretch for you. If it's easy for you, you can keep scooching your butt forward until you start feeling more feelings. Remember, it's your body. You can control how deep or not deep you feel like going into any pose today. And release. Once again, do a double take. Make sure there's nothing that you can kick or run into. Come all the way down onto your back. Stretch those arms out. Point through your feet. Clasp your hands behind your head. And we're coming into some bicycle crunches. Head, neck, shoulders are off the floor. We're knocking one elbow into the opposite knee and vice versa. Keep going until the next time you land with your right knee in. Grab a hold of that right knee and come back onto your back. Take your left hand, place it onto the outside of the right knee, giving it a push down, going in for a twist. Right arm should be extended out towards your side. Inhale. As you exhale, see if you can relax the right shoulder blade down to the ground a little more, feeling a deeper twist. Inhale again. As you exhale, start circling the right arm down, across your body, up over your head. Keep going. As you can see, I have a lazy arm here. Do try and keep that arm straighter. One more. Then bring both knees back in towards your center line. Take a moment to inhale. As you exhale, hands come back behind your head and we go back into our bicycle crunches. Get ready to clasp your left knee this time. Take your right hand, place it on the outside, twist. So as you can see, my left arm is actually slightly high. That's because that's where I need it to be to feel the feelings. If you need your arm a little lower, if having it high is too much for you, that's okay too. Inhale. Exhale, we're going into our arm circles. Reaching that arm forward, up behind you, back around, grazing your back, and repeating. I hope you also know that you don't have to go at my speed ever. If your shoulders are feeling specifically janky, take your time, go a little slower. It's all good. And it's time to take both knees back in towards your chest. Flex your feet, face them to the sky. Take your hands onto your instep. If you can't reach, you can also place your hands on your ankles or shins. From here, start rocking side to side. For all my yogis, this is a happy baby pose. Bring both feet together with your hands. Place them on the ground, knees open wide. Take a moment to press your upper thighs with your hands. You should feel a nice stretch / opening sensation go down your low back. Rebend both knees, bring them back into your chest one more time. Grab your knees, give yourself a little rock and roll until you come back up into seated. Stretch those arms up and over, and then leading with your chest, come down into a forward fold. If you can't grab your feet here, just grab your shins, whatever you can. Hang out here for a moment. This is the forward folding portion of this backbending class. Forward folding portion. Enjoy it while you can. And one more quick forward fold just to release the low back. We'll come into our butterfly position, feet together, knees out, grab your ankles, arch up to come down and relax. If you're having trouble relaxing in this position, grab a block. You can lean your head or your forearms on the block. It'll help you just to get comfortable here. We're just taking another quick rest. And exhaling, coming out of there, coming into your tabletop position. Take your right hand, place it beside you. Reach your left arm out to the side while you reach the left leg out. Curl the body in and repeat on the other side. We're going to go from side to side, really getting a nice side body stretch as we do this. If you have sensitive knees, feel free to double up your mat, or if you have a sweatshirt or a pillow, you can always grab that, place it under your knees. If If your side body is tight or you have short arms, you can bring a yoga block with you as you go side to side and place your hand on that for support. I also want you all to really milk this movement. Don't just come to the side, really stretch that chest open to the ceiling at the back. Keep that arm nice and straight behind you. Come back onto all fours. Place both forearms on the ground. Step both feet back, toes tucked. We're coming into a forearm plank. Squeeze your butt. We're going to do some knee taps. Knees tap to the ground, legs stretch out. Now remember, my friends, a plank is called a plank for a reason. You're supposed to look like a plank of wood. If your butt is in the air, you're going to look more like the top of a triangle. If your butt is sagging down, you're going to look like the letter U. Squeeze your butt. Stay in that plank. Come onto your left forearm. Turn towards your right. Arm can reach to the sky or come onto your hip. Left side taps to the ground, lowering and lifting. Keeping the legs stacked, keeping the chest facing out to the side and not caving in. Switching sides, coming through the center to turn over to the other side. And here, tiny taps. Once again, keep squeezing your butt. One more time, then start to turn your body back center. And we're just going to hold a plank from here. My students often ask me what strengthening has to do with stretching and getting more flexible. Well, right now I'm doing this to warm the body up, but in general, it is so important to have a strong body so you can hold yourself up in deeper poses. Come back onto the knees, clasp the hands together behind you, push the knuckles down, look up to the ceiling. Once again, squeeze those shoulder blades, open the chest up. As you go through this class, if there's anything that you don't understand or any stretch you don't feel free to ask me in the comments. Without seeing your body, I might not be able to fix you, but I might have good advice that can help you. Back into tabletop on all fours, we're going into a puppy pose. Stretch your arms out in front of you. They should be no wider than shoulder width distance apart. Your gaze is looking forward. You're trying to tap and hold your chest on the ground. Make sure your butt is directly over your knees. Keep breathing. Every time you exhale, try and get your chest closer and closer to the ground. If your chest is already on the ground, imagine a big puddle forming. Yes, a big jello-y chest puddle. I don't know. I'm not the best with analogies, you guys. Come on out of your puppy. Take a moment to rock your head side to side, releasing that neck, because we're getting right back into it, only this time a little different. Place your elbows on the ground, hands together in a prayer position, like you're praying for this session to end. Gaze is still forward, butt is still directly over the knees. You are still trying to get your chest to the ground. Breathing police back. Have you been breathing? Don't forget to breathe. We're hanging out in this position for a little bit longer. One of my teachers always says this: in order to build endurance, you have to endure things. So we are enduring this pose. All right, come on out. Come onto your bellies and forearms. Give yourself a little shake, shake it all out. Then bend your right arm out to the side, bent like an L, like Lori. Push through your left hand, bring your leg over, you're in a pec stretch. If you are not feeling the pec stretch, remember you are doing this to yourself. Try moving your arm up or down to feel more feelings. Switch sides. This time you're pushing through your right hand. Your left arm is bent like an L. Leg goes back and around. Moving back to your belly, we're going to do some back crunches now. Bring both hands out to the side, thumbs up. Lift your upper back up, look to the ceiling. Try to use your strength to lift yourself up and not momentum. Every time I'm in the up position, I'm turning my hands backwards. It's helping me get a little extra stretch in my chest. I always like more bang for my buck. Enough of that. Hands come to the ground. Come back onto your knees. Start reaching those arms. Look back. Follow your hands with your eyes. Bring the arms in front of you and then reach them out to the sides. Once again, looking up. Keep going up and out to the side. Don't short yourself the stretch. Keep opening those arms till you feel a nice sensation in your pecs. As you go backwards, you're trying to separate your upper back from your lower back. Imagine one day your head goes all the way back and around so that your hair is on the floor. It could happen one day, maybe, I don't know. That's the goal. Enough of that. Come back onto all fours briefly. Push your butt back. Bring your arms back. We're coming into a child's pose. Walking over to the right side of the room. Place your left hand on top of the right. Going in for a stretch. Lean your head on top of your bottom arm. Hang out here. Walk through the center to come to the other side. Right hand goes on top of left. Pull your body weight towards the right. Relax your head down. I absolutely love side body stretches from a child's pose. So delicious. Also, what am I going to say right now, you guys? I'm going to say keep breathing. Breathing police. And come back center and come back on to all fours. We're going to take it into some cat-cow circles here. So really round the spine, look at your belly button. Circle on over to the side, arch as you look up, and reverse sides. Get ready, you all, because we are going to come back down onto our bellies. Make a little tray with our hands for our forehead and start kicking our left leg up. Nice, slow, and controlled. No throws. This is not the Rockettes. This is a flex class. This is supposed to strengthen your butt. Squeeze your butt as you do this. Stretch through the left leg. Point the toe. Keep your body square. Don't lift the hip up and out to the side. Do you see that the only thing really moving is my leg? Take a moment to wiggle everything out and then come up onto your forearms into a Sphinx pose. From here, we're going to go into a little back bend, but listen to the words coming out of my mouth. You're going to press your forearms into the ground. Grab at the floor with your hands. Pull your chest through your arms. Look up to the ceiling. Think of your upper back curling around. Hold this for a moment. Breathe. Then bend your left knee. Reach up and over with your left hand to grab that foot. If that is easy for you, start bringing that foot in towards your butt. If that is easy for you, press up onto your right hand so you're in a full cobra. Continue pressing the foot into your butt. Take some extra movement here if you need it to help you open up that quad. And of course, breathe. And release, lower down. Take your hands, make your diamond shape for your forehead, relax your forehead down, and start kicking with your right leg. Stretch through the leg, point the foot, breathe. One more time. Wiggle it out. Come back onto your forearms. Take a moment to center yourself. Then once again, press those arms into the ground. Pull your chest forward. Look back. Hold it here for a moment. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee. Right knee this time. Reach out with your right hand. Grab the foot. And if you did it on the other side, press through your left hand. Come back into your full cobra. Hanging out here. Again, I like to rock side to side just to really help me open up my quad. But you do you, comma boo. Keep breathing. And release. Coming back onto both forearms. This time tuck those toes behind you. Lift the knees off the ground. Again, press the forearms into the ground. Grab at the floor with your hands. Pull your chest through your arms. Relax your shoulders down. Look up to the ceiling. Curl your back. We're just going to hang out here for a couple of seconds. This should not be an easy pose. I am not relaxed at all. My arms are digging into the ground. I'm still trying to pull my chest through my arms. I do not stop until now. You can release. Relax for a moment. Then take those fingertips of yours, place them by your side, 1, 2, and we're going into cobra rolls. So you're going to round the spine to come up at the top, look to the ceiling, arch on down, keep going round up, pushing through your hands, pull with your hands to arch down, chest through your arms. A few more, keep going, inhaling on the way up, exhaling on the way down. If this becomes too much pressure on those fingertips, it's okay to plant your hands into the ground. I like the fingertips because it gives me length, but sometimes they get tired after a couple rounds of these. So yeah, place your hands on the ground, but don't lose that pulling sensation. Also, I don't know if you can see, but I am experimenting with different hand placement as well. One time I'll do it and they'll be close by my hips. The other time I'll bring them out a little bit. We all have different places in our back where our back bends a little extra. So I like to play around with where I place my hands to hold my cobra pose. Next time you're at the top of your roll, just hold it there. Again, we'll be here for a moment. Even though your arms are straight now, you're still trying to pull your chest in between your arms. Look back, round the upper back over. You can wiggle side to side. Breathe. And leading with your chest, come on down. Last thing down should be your face. This would be a great time for a sip of water if you need it. Grab a yoga block. Place your hands under it, holding the block in your hands. Palms are up, fingertips are facing down towards your feet. Drape your body on top of the block, and we're going into leg lifts. So these leg lifts are supposed to simulate how you will eventually one day get into your chest stand by lifting your legs up and over your head. So our gaze is not down at the ground. Our face isn't on the ground. We're looking forward. We're squeezing our arms together. We're pointing our toes. We're trying to keep our legs as straight as possible. And we're squeezing our butt to lift those legs up high. My block is directly under my pelvis. If that doesn't feel right for you, you can mess around with block placement. And if you don't have a block at all, clasp your hands together, make a fist, and use your fist as an imitation to a block. Next time your legs are back down on the ground, scoot the block back out from underneath you, put it back to the side. We're going to go into a bow pose hold. For this first bow pose, our hands are going to be facing thumbs down on the outside of our foot, ankle, or shin. We're going to push our legs back into our hands and hold. Look up to the ceiling. Keep holding, keep pushing. Don't forget to breathe. Keep holding this. We're almost done. And come on down. Release. Release. Come on down. Grab your strap or whatever you're using in place of your strap. Come onto your knees. Take your strap about shoulders width distance in between your hands. Reach it back. When your arms can go no further, open your hands out so you can start rotating the strap forward and back. Make sure your arms are rotating around at the same exact time. In other words, it should not be one shoulder then the other. Both shoulders should go backwards at the same exact moment. If you can't do this, bring your hands out further. Ain't no shame. Come to that stickiest spot behind you. Hold it there. Pull your hands away from each other. $50. I will send you $50 if you break your strap. Here's a side view. Keep pulling. Rock side to side from here. Breathe. And relax. Bring the arms up and over and get rid of that strap. Grab your yoga blocks. Come into a lunge. Take a moment to rock your hips forward and back and then settle down your knee. Untuck your back foot. I'm starting with my right foot in front. Bring your blocks by your hips. Breathe. We're going to be here for a couple moments, so keep breathing. I like to do a toe check in my lunge. I always like to make sure my foot is in front of my knee. It's not exactly wrong if your knee is ahead of your foot. It's just a completely different stretch. Having your foot in front of your knee, one, allows for more stability, and two, it gives you more space for your hips to sink down. Inhale. On your next exhale, tuck the left toe behind you. And we're going to start lifting and lowering that back knee. As you do this, your hips stay exactly where they are. All that is moving is that knee. Your hip flexor should elongate every time you straighten that leg behind you. One more. And the next time you find that knee on the ground, you can leave it there. Untuck the toe behind you. We're going into a back bend. Walk those blocks back a step. Lead with your chest as you bring your body forward, then go back. Relax your head and neck backwards. And if you want, you can lower your blocks down 1, 2, or maybe even place your fingertips on the ground. Keep sinking those hips down. Keep breathing. Push out of those hands or fingertips. Keep shrugging the shoulders behind you. And slow and controlled, start to come out of there. No ricocheting. We don't want you to lose your balance. Bring your blocks forward, pike your hips back, straighten your right leg, wag your tail side to side. We're doing a hamstring stretch. So if you have a mirror, double check, make sure your butt is above your knee. Make sure that right leg is nice and straight. Flex the right foot and rebend the knee. This time, bring your body weight forward. Hands can stay on the floor. We're going into hamstring curls. Lifting and lowering the left foot. Squeeze that leg in as close to your back as possible. Remember, if this hurts that left knee, use padding. Reach the right hand forward, up, and over to grab a hold of that foot. If holding that foot is easy for you, bring the foot in as close as you can to your butt. If your quads are super flexy, you may want to slide that foot into your elbow pit and lean your head back. You can place your hand on your hip and relax. Keep breathing. Come out of there. Retuck that back toe behind you, straighten that leg. You can use your blocks to steady yourself as you come up into a high lunge. Once you're there, tuck your pelvis. Left leg stays straight, tiny pulses down. Arms are reaching up high above you. We're pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. And round the arms down to re-grab those blocks. Come back to the left knee. Untuck the left foot. Pike back once again into your hamstring stretch. This time we're walking on over to the right side of the room, going into more of the psoas area. Give yourself any wiggles you might need here. If this is too easy for you with your hands on blocks, you can lower the blocks down or place your hands on the floor. Be careful not to get lazy leg here. My right knee loves to start to bend here. No. Make sure that leg stays nice and straight. The right foot should be flexed out. Square off the hips. And we're going to come into a pigeon pose. Once your hips are nice and square here, we're going into some more hamstring curls. Left knee bends and straightens. Use blocks for support for your hands if you need to. Your body is staying upright. This is not a rest yet. Reach the left arm up and over to grab a hold of that left foot. Pull the foot inwards. Don't lose that square sensation as you do this. Once you have that foot in your hand, re-square off the body. What does it mean to square off the body? It basically means that your hips are facing forward. In other words, your back leg is not out in Vietnam. It is facing inwards. The thigh is down on the floor. Keep breathing and release. And just like we did before, we're going into some cobra rolls. So fingertips on the ground, arch on down, round the spine to come up. Keep going. Every time you get to the top, look up to the ceiling as you arch on down. The last thing facing down should be your eyeballs. Keep going. Inhaling as you come up, exhaling as you lower. Last one. And come on out of there. If you need a sip of water right now would be a great time to grab it. And we're going to do one more puppy pose before we move on. So this puppy pose will be with blocks under our hands. Just like in the other puppy poses, your butt is directly above your knees. Your gaze is forward. Your chest is on the ground. Because your hands are on blocks, it's going to be harder on your arms. Keep trying to straighten those arms. It's not going to be as easy. They might bend a little. That's okay. Your goal is to have elongated monkey arms. Inhale and exhale. Release and come on out of there. Now I'm going to turn my body around just so you guys can see me better. You guys can stay whatever way you are facing. Come into your tabletop, tuck your toes, pike your hips back, straighten your legs, lift your left leg up to the ceiling. It's okay for your hips to rotate outwards here. We are in a downward dog split, going into some hamstring curls. Start bending and straightening the left knee. Keep that foot pointed. As you can see, my body is opening out a little. That's okay. Just don't turn out completely. Come into your deepest downward dog stretch. Rebend the knee, straighten. Come into plank. Come on down. All right, we're going to do another bow pose. This time the grip is going to be holding from the inside of our foot, ankle, or calf. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Got it? So take a nice deep inhale. Bend those knees. Get your hands ready. Grab thumbs up. And start pushing into those hands. Lift your body up, up, up. We're holding here. Keep pushing, keep pressing. Look up to the ceiling. Bow poses are seriously awesome. They literally stretch almost every single body part. Keep pushing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And relax. A couple of cobra rolls here before we switch sides and do our hips on the other side. So place your hands on the ground and start circling this time. So we're going to bring our nose out, trying to follow with our nose. We reach our head back, bring our nose out to the left and forward, all the way around, and reversing. Again, body is reaching out to the side, all the way back, around, and down. Leave no side of the room untouched. One day as you push back, your head is going to just be on your butt. Just going to be there. Hold at the top. And leading with your chest. Pull your body down. Getting ready to do some more back crunches. Reach your arms out to the side. Thumbs up once again. And again, every time you lift up, it's going to be like you're hailing a taxi. I don't know if you live in New York like I do, but that's what we do to hail a taxi. So every time I'm reaching up, I'm like, hey, taxi! Hey, taxi! Also remembering to look up at the ceiling. And again, using your strength to lift up. And we will do one more cobra pose for good measure. So push and pull with your hands. Relax your shoulders down. Look up. And then get mentally and emotionally ready because we're about to go on to hip flexors on the other side. Again, a great time to have a sip of water. Grab your blocks. Make sure there's one on either side of your mat. Take a nice deep breath in and bring your left foot forward so you're in a lunge. Tuck your right foot behind you. Give yourself a couple rocks forward and back. And then drop that knee on the ground, untuck the toe. Make sure your body weight is once again over your hips. And relax. So once again, we're going to be in this for a while. Holding a hip flexor stretch can get tedious after about 30-40 seconds. I always like to think of one of my favorite quotes from Louis Zamperini. Louis Zamperini was a war hero. If you saw the movie Unbroken, it's about him. And he has this amazing quote I love, which is, "One moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory." So whenever I'm holding these long flexibility poses and my body is burning, I always think these moments of pain are going to bring me a lifetime of glory. So I just hold it. And I'm done rambling, so now you can tuck the back toe and start lifting and lowering the knee. I'm going to switch sides again. I think you might be able to see me better on the other side. Next time the knee is down, walk those blocks back. We're going in for the back bend. If you did it on the other side, make sure you lower those blocks down. Some of you may be able to place your hands on the ground as you go in for the back bend. Try to make both sides even if you can. Keep relaxing that head, neck down. No tension. Inhale. Exhale, pull yourself out of there. Bring your hips back, straighten the left leg, flex the left foot, wag your tail side to side. Hamstring stretch. Do the butt check. Make sure your butt is over your knees, not too far forward, not too far back. And re-lunge forward. Hamstring curls. Right knee bends and straightens. Leave the foot in. Reach forward, up and around with your left hand to grab a hold. Drive that foot in towards your back. If you did it on the other side, maybe sink that foot down into your elbow pit and look backwards. Your right hand can stay on a block or come onto the ground. Retuck the toe. Push on up to your high lunge again. Always make sure the pelvis is pushing forward, the hips are squared off. We're pulsing down. Keep those arms as straight as you can, up high. Drive those hips in together. If you're losing balance, come up a little higher. That's cool. Swing the arms down, place the knee back down, re-straighten the left leg, flex the left foot, turn it out to the side, walk those hands out to the side. If you need your blocks, bring them with you. Any extra movement here that you need to open up that psoas, totally cool. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Face forward again. Bring your left foot towards the right side of your mat, dropping down into pigeon pose. If you need the blocks to support your hands, grab your blocks, and we're going into our hamstring curls. Holding the foot in, right hand lifts up, back and around, grabbing a hold of the right foot. If you can, press that foot inwards. Inhale, exhale, release the back foot, face forward, re-square off your hips. We're going into our cobra rolls. So again, arching down, rounding the spine to come up. Really milk this for all it's worth. Last one. Take a sip of water if you need it. Next up is going to be the downward dog. So remove your blocks out of your way, come back onto all fours, tuck those toes underneath you, lift the knees, pike the hips back, take a moment to pedal out those feet, and get ready because this time it is the right leg that lifts up behind you, hips can open out wide, hamstring curls, and the right knee and straighten. Keep that foot nice and pointed. We want to develop good aesthetics over here with our feet. And one more downward dog split. Keep pushing. Lift that leg up high and release. We're coming into a plank, so walk those feet back. Make sure your shoulders are over your wrists. We're circling around towards the right. Inhale, other way. And inhale, exhale, relax. So right now we are done with the center floor portion of the class. Grab all your belongings and move them towards a wall. Your setup should look like this. Make sure those blocks are within grabbing reach. Face your back to the wall. Place your left leg so that your shin is against the wall. Bend your right knee. Place your right foot on the floor. Start to reach your back in towards the wall. You're really tucking your pelvis here. You can push your hands off your front thigh to help propel your body backwards. Breathe. If you feel relaxed in this position, you are doing it wrong. Squeeze your butt, push your hips forward, do something. This is not easy. Side body stretch time. Plant your right arm on the inside of your right thigh. Reach your left arm up and out towards the right side. Keep the left arm nice and straight. Keep the back against the wall. Inhale. Go a little further before you reach up. Bend down to grab those blocks. Right leg creeps out a little forward. Sink those hips down. Bring your body back upright. Now, if this is enough for you today, you can hang out here, but this is a backbending class. So once you've settled into this deep quad stretch, if you feel ready, you can step your blocks back, press your chest forward, look back. And if you want to move on, you can bring those hands to the back wall and start walking down the back wall. I like to press away a little and then relax my head back. Maybe I walk down a little, press away, relax the head back. I keep doing that for as long as I can. Eventually you can make a nice little foot hat, as I have here. It's the latest fashion, Lurie's foot hat. All right, get out of there. Take a moment. We're going to switch sides. If you need water, great time to grab some water. I definitely needed water. Set yourself up and place your right knee back, right shin against the wall. If you're new to this, it's also helpful to look back and make sure your back leg isn't going one way or the other. Make sure everything is square. Going in for the side body stretch, right arm reaches up first, then over, using the left hand to brace yourself. You don't want your entire body to start leaning towards the left. You're just trying to section off that upper body. Again, right now you should be feeling a nice deep stretch going down your right side. If you don't, maybe you're doing the wrong hand, maybe you're going the wrong way. Come up again, grab those blocks, creep the left leg forward. Make sure you do that, very important. If you don't do that, you're not giving your body the space it needs to bend backwards. Also, re-sink those hips down. Take a moment here, get used to the quad stretch, and then go in for the back bend. I use my blocks first to help me get back, and then when I am ready, that's when I reach back towards the wall. And you guys, the good thing about doing class with a video is that if there's something that you ever feel you need more time with, push the pause button. Rewind. If I'm not holding something long enough for your body, take that extra time you need Everybody's body is different. You might feel like you need to hold this for 5 minutes in order to gain anything from it. All right, come on out. Come back to seated briefly. Turn around to face the wall. We're going to do a puppy pose against the wall. So it's literally the same thing as we did on the floor before, but against the wall. I would say your knees should be about 1.5 feet away from the wall. Your arms are no wider than shoulders width distance apart. Your gaze is upwards, no noses on the wall. And you're trying to get your chest to the wall. Butt is back. Knees are about hips width distance apart. Don't have your legs too close together, but make sure they're not so wide apart that you're sinking down into a frog pose. And maybe as you hold this and breathe, those arms slide down even lower. Chest sinks into the wall. Keep breathing. Inhale, exhale, come out of there. We're going to go into some wheel poses. Now, for my first wheel pose, I like to do them with my blocks at an angle against the wall. This helps with two things. One, it helps with wrist flexion. So it lightens the load on your wrists so they don't hurt as much. Number two, I feel like it helps me push my hips up higher towards the sky. So I make sure those blocks are solid. My fingers are facing downwards. The first step would be planting your feet on the floor and coming up onto your head. Once you can do that, then push all the way through your arms to come completely up. Take a couple moments to rock back and forth. Keep opening up the arms and the chest. The goal is to have straight arms. Once this is easy for you, you can play with stepping those feet in a little closer and rocking back and forth again from there. Again, once you do this, your arms may bend like crazy. Keep trying to straighten them. It may not always happen, but you got to try. Got to keep trying, and then one day it all happens. It all comes together. Look up to the ceiling, bend your arms to come back down. Good job, you guys. We're going to do another wheel pose. This time we want the blocks in the high position against the wall. So high position directly against the wall. We're going to come back down onto our backs. The heel of our hand is going to be flush against the blocks. So lie down, head should be about 1 or 2 inches in front of the blocks, and then bring those heels of the hands backwards. Make sure those blocks are again about shoulders width distance apart. Feet come flat to the ground, push the hips up. Once you're here, if you can, walk your feet in. You're trying to pump your chest to the wall. The arms really want to bend here, so keep thinking of straightening those arms. Keep thinking of tapping that chest to the wall. You're going back and forth. It's okay to come up onto your tippy toes here to help you. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to lower it down onto our forearms so that our elbow is now against the block. So make sure those blocks are in place. Lower 1, 2. So now your elbows and forearms are on the ground. Your head is still off the ground, and you're pumping your chest into the wall. Look up to the ceiling to come back down. If you need water, another great time to get water. Come on up to seated. Grab your strap or whatever you're using in lieu of a strap. So if you have a yoga strap, make a loop in your strap. The more flexible you feel that you are, the tighter the loop should be. The less flexible, it's okay, make a big old loop. If you're using a towel, this might be tricky. You can also just do some regular bow poses. We're going to go into a bow pose exercise to help you practice that overhand grip. So I'm lassoing up my feet The strap goes around my ankles. I take it with one hand and then I come onto my belly. Now notice that my hand is not grabbing the strappy part of the strap, but it's grabbing from the inside of the loop, palm facing outwards. I take my other hand and also grab from within the loop, palm facing outwards. And from here, I'm lifting up and I'm practicing straightening my arms, straightening my legs, straightening my arms, straightening my legs. Back and forth. Really press those arms straight. If this is easy for you, make a tighter loop. If you don't have the loop, just go back to your regular bow poses. You could try lassoing up those feet with a towel. Might not work. All right, it is time for the final pose, the bow pose with the overhand grip. I'm going to do it one time just to show you how you will grip at those legs. If you are new to this, grab 2 yoga blocks, place them in front of your waist. They will help support you as you grab those feet. So you're going to want to bend one knee, flex that foot. Take your hand like you're serving up a cocktail tray. Grab the underside part of your foot. Keep holding it. You're going to do that on the other side as well. Yeah? This time we're just practicing that. That is the first step. If you're struggling with that, then this is where you are today. If you want to go back to practicing with the loop, that's cool too. If you want to go back to just practicing your regular bow pose, that's cool too. Take a moment to pulse forward and back. And release. All right, it is time. Move those blocks out of your way. Take a nice deep inhale. Come up into your cobra pose. Bend one knee, just like we did before. Flex your foot, serve up dinner. Make sure you have a good grip. Now bend the other knee. Grab that foot. This is the hard part, but grab underneath. You got to make sure you grab properly. Push backwards. Take a moment. Breathe, swallow, do whatever you have to do. Now here, make sure both elbows come forward before you reach them up. From there, start pushing through your feet and look up. You're in the bow pose with the overhand grip. Keep pushing through those feet. Keep stretching those arms up. As you can see, my elbows are opening out a little bit wide. You can play with opening them wide, driving them together. Hold it for as long as you can and release. If you are feeling like, girl, that was not enough, I need to do that again, by all means pause this video and do it. I'm going to start cooling down. So whenever you stretch your back a lot, it's really good to cool down with some ab stuff. I'm going to do a super quick ab cool down. I'm going to grab my 2 yoga blocks. Place them on the medium height by your side. Bring your knees in together. Push up. Lift your feet off the ground. Compress everything and hold. Come back down. Breathe. We're going to do it again. I think this ab exercise is so effective and quick, because I always just want to rush the cool down. So I don't want to do like 10 minutes of abs. I feel like this gets in there. Lift everything off the ground, knees together. Hold, 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 hold. Butt is off the ground, feet are off the ground. Release. Shake it out. We're going to do it one more time. Grab your blocks. Knees together. Push through your hands. Feet come off. Butt comes off. Compress everything. Compress, compress, compress. Hold. Breathe. And come down. Good, you guys. Shake it out. Oh my God, you guys, we did it. Place your feet together, knees open, coming into your butterfly stretch. Grab your ankles, arch down, relax. So you guys, you did it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if there was anything you particularly loved or hated about this class. Also, if you don't mind liking and subscribing to my channel, it would really support me. And if you ever want to take an in-person class with me, I teach at Body and Pull in New York City. Have a great day.